going on to continuing. We talked about the lab fees, dental supplies. You may have someone in your office that's doing the dental supply ordering for you, and that's great. You don't need to be involved in everything in your office. However, there are some really interesting things about what the reps give your people to keep ordering from them. But you can tell your sales reps one of two things. I've had doctors where they said, there's no sales reps allowed in our office. We're too busy during the day. I don't want to see a sales rep in here ever. We're too busy. We're busy. We want to stay with our patients. We want to stay busy. I don't want a sales rep in here. We will order from who we want, and we'll make the orders when we want. We don't need them coming in here. So that's one approach. The second is you can tell your dental suppliers, hey, to keep me, I want to make sure that you keep me at 4, maybe 5% of my gross income every month. So if you know what my production is, I need you to keep me at about 4% to 5% every month. I don't need to overbuy. We don't need to overbuy to get big discounts. We know that within 2 days we can get what we need. We aren't going to continue to overbuy. And if you tell them that and you tell them to keep it fixed on that, they will. They absolutely will. So we talked about overhead, what to keep your eye on, why it matters, and how to be the best at this. Because being the best at it means you win. It means you win, and I want you to win. I want you to be taking home the money. We have lots of things to be creative about, but first we have to have the money. But I'm going to share with you some horror stories just so that you understand why I want you to keep your eyes on this. And one of them was the salary. Remember I mentioned already that I have seen doctors so afraid someone will leave them, they just give in. And they give these people anything that they want. You can't do that anymore. It just doesn't work. In fact, you've got to make sure you have the right number of people and the right people. So rents. I mentioned to you the rents with the lease provisions. Definitely get that cleaned up. Take a look at your lease agreements, especially if you're 5 years from selling. You've got to get those lease agreements. It is the number one item that kills a sale, is that you can't get the landlord to release you and let the buyer on the lease. It will just completely ruin the deal. So you have to take a look at that. Your lab fees, again, we mentioned the golden prices going up, and indeed they did. And it caught every dentist unaware. All of a sudden the lab bills just shot through the sky, and you hadn't increased your fees. By the way, there's one thing I didn't put on here. Make sure you're increasing your fees. All your expenses are going up. And with the new tax laws, when you're buying new supplies and equipment, you just got hit with another 2.3% tax. So if you are not increasing your fees, start it. You've got to get back on board. Every year that you don't do that, you're double behind, right? So if you hadn't increased them 3 or 4%, now you're 8% behind. It just starts compounding. So please, please do that. Dental supplies. Mentioned I was going to tell you about this. Okay, here's a horror story. I have found several dental offices where the reps are coming in and they are giving all kinds of kickbacks to the managers for buying up promotion items, buying in bulk, buying extras to presumably get you a discount. And what we found is sometimes there are vacations, sometimes it's cash, sometimes it's, restaurant gift certificates. Guess what, doctor? These are all yours. Those are for you. You're paying the money. Your office manager is keeping this stuff, and guess what? They keep buying from these people even if it's not the right price. So there's the horror story. You are the one paying for it. It should be your gift certificate, your vacation, your cash. And by the way, I have actually seen doctors that they've told me we had to buy some new supply cabinets because we were just running out of room for everything. And I would stop and ask them, why? Why? Your income hasn't gone up. What's going on? So if you don't pay attention to it, crazy, crazy things are happening. That's why I told you some of my doctors are saying no reps in the office. We'll buy from who we want to buy from, and we'll search it out on the Internet, but we don't need reps coming in and disrupting us. So it's something to definitely think about. So more horror stories. For my clients where we do the accounting, I think you know we're on top of it. I've finished mid-year projections for my clients. I'm coming up with some creative things for some of my clients, at least starting the process of what do we want to do here, because some of the tax law changes and the nasty increases, there's some new planning to be done about that. So they know what their accounting is. We're looking at it. We're staying on top of it. But for the doctor that's doing his own accounting, do you have any idea what your overhead is? Do you have any idea what some good planning ideas might be? Are you really using this as a tool? Or is it just something that you put together for tax time, or it's not important to you? And I will say it's got to be important to you. It has to be important to you. With all the new debt going on for some of the newest practices, you have to watch what's going on in your practice. And even if you've been doing it a while, you got to know, is it helping you move towards your goals? And that's what we want to do. Looking to sell your practice, clean it up. Here's the horror stories on people selling. I do about 2 to 3 reviews of practices for sale for the buyers every week. And over, I see a tax return that has one number on it as profit, and I get profit and loss statements that has a different number. And I'm telling you, they're not close. I have seen some in the last several months where there's a loss on the tax return, but they give us a profit and loss with hundreds, over 100,000, sometimes over hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit. And they think that we're going to be okay going from a loss on the tax return to trying to figure out if there's really profit in the dental practice. When you have such a difference, your price in your practice is going to go down dramatically. If you're cheating on the tax return, what else is going on? Is there an ethical problem? What else is happening in that practice? So when you're getting ready to sell your practice, doctors, as much as I hate to say it, and it pains me greatly, trust me, we need to clean it up and have true profit. We've got to make sure that the buyer knows what they can expect in the way of profit. The more we have to explain all the cheating, it's just monumental, and the price starts going down. So we've got to look at cleaning up. And I'm talking for a lot of years, but I am talking for a couple of years. Tax return with the loss but the profit. So there we go. Having to explain all the cheating going on. Not a good thing. So next horror story is no cash, but it looks like you have profit. This is a horror story in the category of embezzlement. I see this a lot. I've had some clients, again, popping up with the embezzlement issues, and it's because we take our eye off of what's going on in the practice. I had one doctor say, I just don't have any money, but I'm still seeing patients. I just don't understand. Well, he is office manager, or actually this insurance billing person, just wasn't following up on getting the money in. Just wasn't. Things weren't getting off to the insurance company. When they would come back with questions, nothing was happening. And lo and behold, money wasn't coming in. Insurance companies will only give you 6 months. If you go past 6 months, you aren't going to get the money from the insurance company. This particular doctor had someone that had been doing this for 2 years. He got 6 months back, but he had a year and a half that he could not go back and get the money from the insurance company. Please make sure your people are doing what they need to do. And the category, IRS finds categories on your tax return that are too high and out of bounds for them and picks you for an audit. Really, you want to stay away from that. Even if you think you're squeaky clean, it is stressful. It takes over a year, sometimes over 2 years, just to get it done, and the whole time it's stressful. So that's why we keep our eyes on these things. That's why I know, because I'm part of the IRS liaison group. We know what their various categories are, and we keep attuned to that. Because some of the expenses, once they get too high, the IRS will put you in an outlier. It will kick out by computer. They may not audit you, or they may. but you will be on their radar. And we really don't want to do that, do we? We just don't want to do that. So I gave you some thought here. What's overhead? What's included? What to keep your eyes on? How to be best at it? How to get that down? And then some things why it's so important. So just to summarize, and this is a short webinar today, but to wrap it up, I hope this gave you some information for thinking. And if you're already keeping your eye on it, let you know, great. If you're within those boundaries, you're doing a fabulous job. If you're not, and you're not sure, and I haven't spent time talking with you about it, we can go back over it. But be sure I'm looking for anything that is out of bounds. I will always let you know. But we can always be looking at it together. If you're not one of my accounting and consulting clients, I would love to be able to go over with you. So I'm offering you 1 free hour to kind of go through where you are, give you some insight, and, chat with you and see if there's something we can do to help. So I appreciate your time this evening. I hope you go back to relaxing this evening and enjoying yourself. If you need to get a hold of me or would like to contact me, you can reach me here in my office at 714-619-0667, or you can send me an email. My email is Rebella, at RebellaCPA.com. Jeff, is there anything else?
No, I think that's it, Monica. We're on the last slide, and I guess we should also mention that if a dentist is not a client of yours and they want more information about you or some of your free reports, you can go to Monica's dental website. The URL is www.mydentalcpa.com. That's mydentalcpa.com, and that's another way that you can learn about Monica. You can hear audio testimonials from different dental clients around the state of California that say great things about her, and that's another way to access her information. So, Monica, once again, thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to provide us with this information. This is the monthly teleseminar series. We have another one coming up next month, and we'll send out an email reminder as to the particular date and the topic for that. In the meantime, we want to thank everybody for being on the call, and we hope to talk to you soon. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.